Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneit's Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Venus is about to move in the sign of Aquarius. When Venus will move in the sign of Aquarius, it will go out from the clutches of Saturn, Jupiter and Mercury, and Venus will go and face the Sun, face the soul in this sign of 11th house. Now what is so special about this? Because Venus in its entire duration is going to remain combust. So that is something that is another topic of discussion. I will make another video for that. But when Venus is in another sign of Saturn, the dispositor of Venus goes into the 12th house. Now you must understand that for Venus, 12th house from its own placement is of great importance, because that's the house from where Venus can exercise the luxury, exercise the liberty, because Venus wants to spend. Because without spending, luxury will not come. Luxury comes at a cost, but there are three planets, especially the Saturn is placed. So definitely Venus will feel some restriction. Also, you will see that the Sun is ahead of Venus. So Venus goes into a Pap Kartari Yoga, not by the house, but by the placement and degree. Venus will move from three nakshatra, Dhanishta, Satbhisha and Purva Bhadrapad. So definitely Dhanishta, which is the nakshatra of Mars, Satbhisha, which is the nakshatra of Rahu, is going to be the dominant theme of this transit. And the day later, on 22nd of February, Mars goes in the sign of Taurus and joins Rahu. What is this all about? We will discuss in brief. Stay tuned till the end and do not forget to hit subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you never miss another update. If you want to take my consultation, you can drop me an email. The email ID is in the description box below. For social media, the links are all available down below. Do follow, do subscribe. Let's continue with this unique transit. So when Venus goes into the sign of Aquarius, the most important fundamental property that we have to focus on is the nakshatra. Venus will be in the Dhanishta nakshatra, which is controlled by the planet Mars. Mars is about to go in the sign of Taurus. I will make another video for that. Mars will go in the sign of Taurus on 22nd of February, a day after Venus transit. So it's going hand in hand. But the problem with the Mars transit is that the Mars is going to join Rahu. Rahu, which is already in a nakshatra of moon, Rohini nakshatra, and Venus and Mars and Rahu energies are in square with the placement of Venus. That means Mars will be fourth from Venus. Not only that, if you see the nakshatra which is ahead of Dhanishta is Satbhisha nakshatra, and Satbhisha nakshatra is also controlled by, when I talk about planetary energy, it is controlled by Rahu. That means the movement of Venus till it reaches Purva Bhadrapad is actually guided by the energies of Mars and Rahu. So when you're talking about the placement of Venus, when you're talking about the position of Venus, it is good with respect to its own zodiac signs. Venus is 10th from the sign of Taurus, whereas it is 5th from the sign of Libra. So Taurus will make you work hard and Libra will ask for productivity. So it's like I'm trying my best to create an equilibrium. But what process are we taking in order to balance things? What steps have we taken or we are thinking to take when we are targeting to achieve a balance in life? Are we targeting to create a balance by stabilizing the air of the two wheels of this vehicle, or are we trying to deflate them to stabilize, or are we inflating it too much? You have to understand the boundary and understand the upper limit of your actions. Now when Mars and Rahu are in the 4th house, Venus Sukh Bhav gets affected by two malefics. Not only that, Mars 8th aspect will fall 11th from Venus. So when Mars 8th aspect falls on the sign of Sagittarius, which is 11th from Venus, this is where the gains, expectations, desires, all are getting tampered, all are getting beaten up by the super masculine combination, the chaotic energy of Mars and Rahu. And Venus is feminine. So the foremost ground on which Venus can act is our health. Not only mental, but also spiritual and personal health. Health of relationships. Venus represents marriage. Venus represents dharma. Venus represents luxury, anything which is creative, and all that area will undergo transformation. You have to check for what you are trying to achieve from these areas of life. So when Mars and Rahu goes forth from Venus, Venus kind of becomes unhappy and agitated and wants to become happy because Libra energy is going so strong. In order to achieve the balance, in order to get rid of the insecurities Venus possesses, Venus may take some negative route. Venus may become very deprived. So this is the kind of a dry month when the relationship can go sour, when the marriages can become slightly difficult, when practicality will reign supreme, and you, in order to achieve what you think you deserve, what you think that you need in life, Mars and Rahu will make you go towards some extra effort. What your task is, that if you're going and taking that extra mile, if your journey is going that extra bit, you are taking that extra step ahead, you need to ensure that effort of yours is not creating any disturbance and not causing any harm, not to yourself, not to your relatives, not to people around you. Venus can also inculcate jealousy in the mind. Venus can also inculcate some lack of comfort. So in order to achieve comfort, you may end up spending a lot of money, and there can be a need of buying something, but you don't have resources for that. That can create frustration, that can create agitation. So Venus, I will say, is not in a very good position in the sign of Aquarius, but its natural strength compared to its own zodiac sign of Taurus and Libra gives it the much needed strength. Now, what is the importance of the Sun and Venus conjunction? Sun, which is the 7th lord, goes in the house of Aquarius, 7th from Venus. So when Venus moves in the sign of Aquarius, it watches the 7th lord. That means the house that controls 7th house from Venus, that is with himself. It creates dependency on your spouse, dependency on other people, dependency on somebody else. Your movement will be restricted, and you will have to rely on another person who is not you, maybe circumstance that is not in your control, and you may have to wait. That wait can make you frustrated. That wait can be irritating. Because it is combust, it will have lesser say in front of the Sun, and the Sun, which is the authority, which is the power, which is the soul, is reigning supreme. So you should listen to your soul and not to your mind, and not to your demands and not to the need. This is the time when you should factor out rationally what is needed in your life. What is needed, you should only go with that minimalistic approach. Life should have a minimalistic approach, and spending has to be done at minimum. Now, when Jupiter, Saturn are going around in the sign of Capricorn, which is 12th from Venus, you have to understand that you have to reduce any kind of spending that is associated with Venus. Buy only things that is necessary. And when you talk about relationship, because 7th from Venus is very important, naturally it controls 7th house. So when the 7th lord is coming in the 1st house, it means somebody reaches out to you and then shows its strength. This is applicable to people who are in Venus Mahadasha, Venus Antardasha, whose Venus is in the ascendant, who are of Aquarius ascendant or Aquarius moon sign. Aquarian energy, solar energy, Venusian energy, if it is dominant in your chart, you will see this mild flavor coming in your life. So when somebody is trying to show something, whenever somebody is trying to exercise their power, try to understand and do not go for an ego clash at that time. Because the Venus is going down, you may feel like you are uncomfortable, you are not valuable in front of the other person. It can create, or it can install, inferiority complex, and maybe out of jealousy or out of inferiority complex, in order to achieve, like, I deserve this, I am entitled to get this, you may take a wrong route. Guidance is very much necessary in this transit. Attending to your own thought, attending to your own desire, and then putting a restriction, a self-restriction, a self-filter is very much necessary in this unique transit of Venus in the sign of Aquarius. Let's find out what the message Venus has to give for every ascendant. Ascendant number 1, Aries ascendant. The position of Venus will be in the 11th house. So you need to take care about the contacts that you come with. You have to be careful with your friends. Overspending, you should be careful. It's okay to have a good broader network circle, but then you have to find out who is in your favor and who is not. Overall, income will increase. This is good for career. This is good to find out. This is good to find out a new source of income. But remember, the second lord is in 11th house, but second house is Mars and Rahu. Be careful with your words and be careful with your actions. Taurus ascendant. In case of Taurus ascendant, your ascendant lord itself goes in the 10th house. This is good for career, but because Mars and Rahu is in the first house, mind can become agitated and you can become insecure. Don't do anything out of jealousy and don't take any step out of sheer spontaneity of your thoughts. Think through. If you want to bring something good things in your career, maybe upgrade yourself, look in your area and don't do anything that can come out as an act of defamation, that can create defamation for you. Otherwise, overall the placement is kind of good. But the placement of the zodiac sign Libra is in the 6th house, and which shows some change of role. Because of the role and responsibility given to you, you may feel slightly insecure. But overall, if you can manage this, this can create the much needed change in your life. Ascendant number 3, Gemini ascendant. In case of Gemini ascendant, the position of Venus is in the 9th house. When the Venus goes in the 9th house, you have to understand that the 12th lord is in the 9th house. Be careful when you are taking any kind of travel. If you're going for a travel, carry that extra luggage, maybe as a backup. Be careful with anything, any transaction that is going out of the country, foreign exchanges, foreign transactions, investment, which is long term, which you will be blocking in your life. Just think through that. Belief system will change in this time frame. The good thing is that the 5th lord goes in the 9th house. That means you have to learn something. What you are learning will come from the 12th house. That means through losses. Don't do anything that can cause a huge loss and then you are learning something. Maybe from the tiny steps, from the minute steps that life shows you, hints that life will give you, try to gather that information. Ascendant number 4, Cancer ascendant. For Cancer ascendant, Venus goes in the 8th house. This can be lustful. You need to control the sexual energy, you need to control the root chakra and practice root chakra meditation, practice grounding exercises, because expectation can lead to disaster. But it is good for getting the inheritance, it is good for investing the inherited money. Also, it is good with marriage related issue. It can rekindle the desire, it can rekindle the passion, but anything in excess is bad. Check your emotions, because your 7th house has Saturn, Jupiter and Mercury, and because Venus is also combust with you because of your 2nd lord, your words matter the most. Speak carefully and respect people around you. Leo ascendant. In case of Leo ascendant, the position of Venus is in the 7th house. Now, your ascendant lord himself goes in the 7th house and joins Venus and makes it combust. You should not exercise any power or dominance with your life partner and in business. This is good to take control of the situation, but your ascendant lord is dominating your 3rd lord. That is something that you have to be careful. Good for career, good for taking things under your control, but ego has to be given away. Do a lot of meditation, surrender to the divine and pray to Mahavishnu. Also pray to Ma Durga to give you the blessings. And when you are taking matter in your own hand, don't cross the boundary. Don't bite more than you can chew. See and respect your boundary and never bring superiority complex, and then things will be fine. Virgo ascendant. In case of Virgo ascendant, the position of Venus is in the 6th house. This can show some sort of prarabdha karma initiation with respect to marriage, with respect to finances. Don't create any kind of unnecessary loan. See if you are spending much more on the credit card, and you should respect women around you. Try to help female folk, especially the girls, and try to fund their education in whatever way you can. At least show some sort of participation. Venus will improve, and you should chant the Venus Bij mantra, Om Dram Dream Dram Sah Shukraya Namah, and that will help you. That will help you move ahead. And you have to also understand that your ascendant lord Mercury was with Venus, and on the day Venus will move in the sign of Aquarius, Mercury also goes direct. So it's like maintaining the sanity. Things will come into realization, and don't create enemies just because of your past grudges. Libra ascendant. In case of Libra ascendant, your ascendant lord goes in the 5th house, but 8th lord also goes in the 5th, and Mars and Rahu is in the 8th. Speculation related gains can suddenly come in your life, and you would want to invest into business, you would want to invest into share market, any kind of speculative gain, lottery, it won't happen. Initially, it will give you the boost, and then once you have invested a lot of money, it will just take that out. You may see unnecessary losses, unexpected loss in your life if you go into the wrong way. See, the position of Venus is such that if your direction is correct, things will be correct, but there is a high chance that you can choose a wrong path to get what you deserve. Because what you deserve will automatically come to you. You should not try too much for that. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana is the theme of the transit for you. Stay focused and be careful. Scorpio ascendant. In case of Scorpio ascendant, 7th lord is Venus. 7th house will see Mars and Rahu placement. And then Venus goes into the 4th house. Definitely when Venus, which is the 12th lord, also goes in the 4th house, this shows that in your home, within your own zone, own comfort zone, you may feel rattled, you may feel surprised. The people and the feedback around you will force you to come out of the comfort zone, and you would not want to do that. You would want to achieve best with what you have in your hand because you think that way. You have to maybe improve and maybe correct yourself. Correction and constant correction is the way here. Ketu on the 1st house is already creating thoughts in your mind that is detached, that wants you to move ahead and maybe not connect with yourself. But now you have to connect with yourself. Now you have to find out good for you and bad for you. That distinguish, if your thoughts can distinguish that, you will be in the right track. And you need to watch out for the time when moon is in the sign of Scorpio. What you should do is to pray to Mahavishnu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva is the mantra that you should chant. Sagittarius ascendant. In case of Sagittarius ascendant, Venus will go in your 3rd house. That means your actions can come out of sheer passion. You want to create something. Everything is fine. But remember, in order to create something, in order to be creative, don't cross the boundary because Mars and Rahu will be in the 6th house. Do not create any enemies. Out of jealousy, if you have taken a step out of sheer, you may think that you won't get caught. You will, because Saturn is in your 2nd house. Be careful because your ascendant lord is also debilitated, and till the time Venus is in the sign of Aquarius, the 9th lord is making Venus go combust. Always stick to dharma, stick to your principles, because when you're sticking to the principle, your action may create enemies, but those were never really your friend. If they are enemies, they were always the enemy. When you're following dharma, if you're getting the opposition, it's still okay. Because who is following the right path, God will be with him. And because the 9th lord is making Venus go combust, chant Mahamrityunjay mantra and chant Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita, that will give you the right path. Capricorn ascendant. The stellium has already formed in the 1st house. Now in your case, if I see Venus goes in the 2nd house, and this 2nd house Venus is very important because 2nd house is family, 2nd house is money, 2nd house is balance, 2nd house is something that you eat and that you speak. It's a very, very important house. It's a house from which you see the Sanchit Karma. 8th lord makes that house combust. That means the spontaneity of events that happens in your family, spontaneity in the finance can make you become complexed, become perplexed, can make you feel very complicated, and that in turn can translate into the words, into the actions, especially related to family and finance. You need to be careful on this angle. You need to be watchful on what you speak. You need to be watchful on what you eat. And you need to be watchful with what you think you need in life. If all these things are done carefully, and if you just pass this time carefully, just watching your steps, things will be fine with you. Aquarius ascendant. In case of Aquarius ascendant, Venus is in your 1st house. Now 7th lord goes in the 1st house and makes it combust. Well, Venus is also your 4th lord. Venus is also your 9th lord. So in that case, Venus is a Karaka planet for you. But Venus also controls happiness, and because Sun is making it go combust, you may feel slightly unhappy at this time frame. Things can really go in the wrong direction, and because it is the 1st house, it will affect you personally and also your health. Mood swings will be a common part, especially for females, so you need to be careful during this movement of Venus and try to meditate a lot and maintain the mental calmness, and for this you need to be good with your pranayam and yoga, and when you are meditating, when you are spiritual, and when you are listening to positive people, optimistic people, you will see that the affirmations, the positive affirmations around you will give you the necessary push, but towards the positive side. Pisces Ascendant. In case of Pisces Ascendant, Venus goes in the 12th house. Now Venus wants to spend. Venus wants to spend lavishly. This is the time when you should always protect your money, protect your finances. The Lord goes in the 12th house. That means a lot of money will go waste. Don't invest heavily into anything unless it has already been planned for over the months. Be careful about short distance travel because your short trips can convert into a longer trip. Plan accordingly because anything that is happening in this 1 month time will actually try to, spend more money. It's like clearance of the prarabdha because 6th Lord is making Venus go combust in the 12th house. The prarabdha is getting cleared, so this is the good time to clear off any kind of loan. So donate as much as you can, do charity, and whatever you earn in this time frame of Venus transit in Aquarius, donate something out of it. That will be very helpful with you. So I hope you make the best use of this transit and you get the maximum in this short span of Venus transit from 21st February till March 17th. And the combustion of Venus will continue till the month of April. I will make another video for that. Stay tuned. The links of that video will also come in the description box and in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, do not forget to like the channel, like the video, and share among family and friends. So guys, this is your host Punneit. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, namaste.